Hi, Andy Donovan here. I hope you'll join me December 2nd at Solfire Yoga on J Street for my next workshop. December 2nd starts at 1 o'clock, and I'm just going to show you a few things that we'll be doing on that day. And of course, much, much more than what I'll show you now. 2.5 hours of releasing your whole body from head to toe. I'll just show you a little snippet of what we're going to be doing. So, first of all, many, many, many benefits to myofascial release. Just a few, to name a few, and I'll tell you more. It will help correct muscle imbalances. Also, it will help your muscles relax. So if you've got tension in your muscles, it will help muscles relax. Also helps with range of motion. You might think of that as flexibility or movement of the joints, and it helps with neuromuscular efficiency. That's just a few, and I'll keep naming others. So we're going to start with a single ball. I love yoga tune-up balls. You can use something similar to that. There is some give to this ball. I'm not a big fan of something harder than this. So like, for instance, a lacrosse ball is not my favorite. That's just me, but we're going to be using something that does have some give. So it should never be what I would call painful. So painful meaning you feel like it's an emergency, you can't take a deep breath, you're guarding. That is not what we're going for. The goal is relaxation. So we're going to be placing this ball underneath one glute. And this is just going to be, again, a little demo. We typically spend anywhere between 90 seconds and 5 minutes in an area. So I've got the ball right in the middle of my glute. I'm going to let my knee fall out to the side. So what we're doing here is called pinning and stretching. So I'm placing the ball in an area. It might be what we call a trigger point. A little bit uncomfortable. Again, nothing so intense that I feel like I need to hold my breath or guard or I start sweating. I mean, that is not what we're going for. If it's that intense, move it a little bit away from that spot because everything is connected. You don't have to be on the absolute worst spot. You can be a little bit away from it. You do want to start getting closer and closer to where the problem area is, as long as it's not an injury, meaning like a tear or a broken bone. So we're pinning and stretching, the knee moves in and out. We can also do some movement. So I've got the ball there and I'm moving side to side with my hips. So the ball is massaging my whole glute. Maybe I make it a little bit more intense by crossing my ankle over my thigh. That is going to expose my piriformis, which is connected to sciatic nerve issues. So if you have any of that, that can be really helpful, or it might be too much. So you always have to pay attention. If it's ever too much, of course, we could change our relationship to gravity and use a wall like this. And we will be doing that as well during the workshop. So we'll be doing some work on the wall and some on the floor. So that's how we could release the tissue on the glutes, which is connected to oftentimes lower back pain. If you have tension in your glutes, your lower back might be a problem. Also, anything above and below an area that's what I call stuck or locked up can become a problem. We can work the front of the thigh. So I'm going to take two balls inside a tote now, and I'm going to release the front of my thigh. So I place the balls on there, and then same sort of thing. I pin and then stretch. So I'm going to move the joint. I'm going to move the limb. The ball is pinned in an area and then I'm moving. I could bend and straighten. That's one option. I could shimmy my leg side to side. That's another option. Or maybe I bend the knee and do kind of a windshield wiper movement with my leg. That's something else that could be done. And of course, I could certainly roll out the whole thigh by pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling. And same thing here, if that was ever too much, I could change my relationship to gravity a little bit, have a seat, and maybe I use the balls more like a rolling pin on top of my thigh. So hip flexors and quadriceps also can be connected to lower back pain. So if you have a lot of tension or stuck tissue in there, that can become a problem. I'm going to go ahead and go back to a single ball now, and I'm going to be placing that ball on my upper trapezius. So I'm laying my body down, placing the ball, And then I'm going to do the same kind of thing. I'm moving my limb. Maybe I do the snow angel kind of a movement or a shoulder press kind of a movement or some circles, whatever seems to be serving me. If that wasn't enough, I could lift my hips. I could even slide a block underneath me to hold my hips up. And I could also move around and let that ball travel side to side across those tense trapezius muscles. And of course, same thing. I could change my relationship to gravity. Place the ball at the wall, and then I can move side to side or do the same kind of arm movements, all of the same kinds of things. And again, we typically go 90 seconds to a minute, but I'm giving you a quick demo here so you can understand the kinds of things we'll be doing. Now, the other thing that can be really beneficial for the whole system is to release the tissue in the belly. Now, we'll use something much softer. This is a Pilates ball. I'll be placing that on my belly. And first, we can just simply breathe. And I'll tell you a little bit more about other things that myofascial release work can do as we just sit here and breathe. So it can release soreness in your tissues, and it does aid in recovery. So it's extremely beneficial to help you not have sore muscles. It can be helpful with stiffness through the whole body. It helps with proprioception, which is your balance, knowing where your body is in space. So if you're having trouble with balance, this can be really beneficial. It can help you sleep better. It can also help you deal with stuck trauma. And I'm bringing that up now because a lot of times there's stuck trauma in our bellies. So we can release some of that by placing the ball, and then we can simply breathe, or we can move the body side to side. You can make some circles. And again, it's certainly even beneficial if you just simply stay here and take deep breaths. Belly massage will also help you with digestion or any stomach issues. Your hip flexors are also in the torso. So they don't stop at your hips. It actually goes up inside your torso and connects up into your spine. So you're dealing with some of the hip flexors in here too when you roll your belly, which many of us know also can be connected with lower back pain. So that's just a teeny sample of what we'll be doing on December 2nd at Solfire. Again, from head to toe, we'll be releasing the whole body, the feet, the neck, the shoulders, the chest, the back, the front of the thighs, the back of the thighs, the glutes, the whole thing. So if you've got anywhere that's stiff or sore, or what I like to call stuck, this is for you. Reach out to me if you have any questions. I hope to see you then.